Hello, this is Carlos from Star Pictures Miami. Good evening. It is the 30th of April, and we're going to look at some stuff tonight. As soon as it gets dark, didn't realize it was still light up. Probably we got about another 20, 30 minutes before the darkness sets in. But thank you for joining us. We've got some interesting things tonight for you in store. We've got the moon. We've got a couple open clusters tonight. We've got some galaxies and some nebulas to look at, and just wanted to share some things with you. I'm going to be opening up my telescopes here in a moment. We'll be able to look at what they see in the night sky, and hopefully be able to capture some images, clear images tonight from not only here in Miami, but also in Texas. It's been kind of, bad weather for the last week, actually, almost 7 days straight. There's been a lot of clouds, some turbulence in the area, high winds, things like that. And from what I'm understanding and what a lot of people are saying at Texas and Starfront is there's the spring and the winter was a little iffy. The summer, it really, since I've been there in July, was unbelievable. Here in Miami, the winter was nice. It was clear. In Texas, not so clear. But the summer in Texas, I remember from last year, was very clear. We had a stretch one night in Texas. It was clear for I think like 43 nights consecutive, which was amazing. And that's something that I don't think that I've ever experienced here in South Florida with the weather and the ability to be able to image. Okay, so let's see if we can now. Hopefully, you can see and hear me. Okay, let's. I'm gonna open up the screens and let's look at the actual um, telescopes. Let me bring up. I've got trying something new. I've got a new computer set up here, and we've got the iPhone, which is going to be connected with the S30. That's the smart telescope. That's a new one. We've got that set up with the iPhone, and I can share my iPhone screen on my desktop. And also, I've got the S50 set up out here in the patio. And let's see if we can get some views here. Okay, here we go with entire screen and share. Okay, and we're gonna go here to, there we go. Here is the iPhone. This is a pretty cool feature here on the latest iOS. You can actually share, that's my iPhone, and we can actually go in and open up the C Star app. There's the S30. I can open up the arm, and it will, right now, let me check in the back patio here. Yeah, it's opening up, and momentarily we'll be able to see something there. And I will also open up the arm on the S50, which is the scope that I've had for over a year now. It's been phenomenal. The C Star S50, the black one. We have the left one here is the S30. That's the brand new one I've only had for about a month. And then the S50, which sees the S50 I have out in Texas at the observatory at Starfront. And it's been a great scope here. Okay, let me put it in scenery mode here. And we're going to open that up. Let's see, scenery. Should be able to see some things. Okay, there we go. There's actually, let's slew it over so you could see the actual. This is the back of my house here. This is with the. I'm going to move this up here. I'm moving up the view of the S30. You're going to see the S50 here momentarily. It's coming up. And there we are. Let's see. I'm going to show that here momentarily. Okay, we're going to bring that over just a little bit. There we go. Up a little bit. I'll focus this. It's a little bit out of focus, but we will have this here in focus in just a moment. It's very close. I'm going to share. There's a screen there. You could see that. That's the S50 right there. And then I'm going to open up the scenery mode on the S50. And that's going to view off. I'm going to try to find the moon here as soon as it becomes available. I'm going to bring up the scope. We got some clouds over here, but actually, I could show you something. If you could see the, no, it's too dark, but across the lake, we can actually see. I focus on some turtles that gather to bask in the sun across the lake. Let's see here, but we've got the S30 right here. I'm going to move that over to that's the back of the house there. We're going to go up to the sky there. See the clouds, a little bit of clouds out there, even though Astrospheric says it's going to be clear. And, you know, there are a little bit of clouds, but it's going to clear up. It's going to clear up. Let me see where could that moon be? That moon is going to be up a little bit higher here. So I'm moving the telescope here with the on-screen joystick. And thank you for joining us tonight here. We're going to be looking at some things here as soon as it gets dark. We're in Miami. These are the scopes in Miami. Let's see, we've got on the left side here, this is the view of my iPhone here on the left. And then we're looking at the sky. I'm trying to scan around to see if we can see the moon by any chance. Oh, which palm tree is this? I'm trying to orientate myself here on these palm trees. Oh, I went too far. That's one of my palm trees. We're going to go back to the west. That's on the east side of the house. And we should have a view. But what's interesting about this is that I can manipulate the telescope right here from my computer. In fact, there's the moon right there. Okay, there we go. There it is. Okay, so I'm homing in on it. I'm really getting it right in the crosshairs. And there it is. We'll go there. And I'll tell it to, this is in scenery mode. I'm going to tell it to actually go back to the planetary mode so that it looks a little weird now, but as soon as I go here and I go to the moon, it's already on the moon. Oh, there it goes. It actually is trying to find the moon, and there it is. It found the moon. I gave it a big head start. I actually, through the secondary camera, what I love about the S30, this new little telescope, is that secondary camera on there makes it so easy to find things like the moon during the day with the solar filter, the sun. When the telescope can't find it, now the Seestar is looking at the moon right now. This is a live view of the moon. I zoomed it in pretty as big as it could go there. Hopefully you could see that. I'll put that in the center of the screen so you could see that. The S30 has the second camera, which is a wide field camera. It's a 2K resolution camera. It's okay. It's not super clear, but for daytime scenery, it's very good. It's quite quite accurate. But the best function for that camera is for finding things. It's like a finder scope, really. So if there's something off in the distance, you know, if I only had the 30mm camera, the primary camera, to find it, it would be difficult. Like the S50 was very difficult to find something off in the distance. I'd have to stand behind it and look at which way the arm was pointing, if it was too high, too low. It was challenging. But with the S30, it is so easy to find anything. So I do a lot of daytime scenery, video, and photography. And with the S30, that second camera comes in very handy. So I can, here you can see that the little box there. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. I'll share that. That's the moon. There's a little crosshair in the middle, and that's the moon. That's the wide field camera that's on top of the primary camera. And this is the view of the primary camera. So we've got the moon right there. It's already visible. The moon tonight is at about 10%. So it's something that we can start to see some craters here. You can see some of the shadows. I can actually zoom in a little bit more on that, and you could see these craters right on the bottom view of the moon. A lot of people come to me and they say, "Oh, aren't you going to take your telescope out? It's a full moon. You got to see the full moon." And yeah, the full moon is cool and everything, but to me, the best time to view the moon is when it's actually between 30 to 50% illuminated. That really reveals a lot of the contrast, a lot of the craters, a lot of the actual character of the moon. And thank you for joining us. We've got here a live view. I'm going to go back to 2x zoom there of the moon, and it's starting to get dark. Starting to get dark out there. Let's see if I don't know if the S50 can already find stuff. It's still not dark enough, but we can maybe try. Let's see. Over on the right side, let's have it go into stargazing, and let's have it try to find something. I wonder if we could find like Cirrus, just for the moment, to try to find something that's very bright. Cirrus. There we go. And we'll go there. Now it's moving around. The arm of the S50 is going to be moving around. Let me take a look at it through the window. Yes, it's turning, and it's pointing in the general direction of Cirrus. It's going to look around and try to find Cirrus. So hopefully we'll have that soon. Let's see here. Let me open up another tab here and see if we can get into. There we are. Okay. Let me see. All right. Very good. So I just want to see if we've got. See what we've got here. Okay. Muted that. And hello, Amanda. Good to have you. Greetings from Miami. Yes, you're in Miami. That's great. We're waiting for it to get dark. In the meantime, we're looking at the moon here on the screen. There's the moon right there. We've got about maybe 10-15 minutes before it gets dark enough. We can start seeing some stars. As soon as we can see some stars, the S50 will be able to plate solve. What it does is, in order to find stuff, it doesn't use GPS. It actually looks at the night sky, finds a few stars, and then calculates the distance between the stars and orientates itself from that measurement. In effect, it's called plate solving. So it will just look at a few points in the night sky, stars which are always very consistent and don't move. They rarely, over the course of millions of years, they move. But then from that point, it can actually orientate itself and align itself, and then find anything once it plate solves, which is a pretty amazing thing. A lot of people think, oh, it's GPS, right? That's using the GPS from the satellites to actually orientate itself. No, it's actually looking at the stars. And let's see if I can find that on the right side here. The S50 is trying to find Sirius. I'm wondering if that can get it to the moon. Let me see if I can find the moon here. I'm going to tell it to stop there. We'll have Sirius look for the moon. I mean, the S50 look for the moon. We're going to go here. We'll move it over to solar system, the moon. It's at about 22%, 22 degrees right now. And here we go. I'm going to go and let the S50, which is the bigger scope. The S50 is the original Seastar model. It's been out for about a year and a half. The S30, this one here, is the new one, and they're different. The size is different. The S30 is a smaller scope. It's more compact. What I love about it is it's really easy to travel with that scope. You can put it in a backpack. You can put it in a carry-on, and everything. It's all self-contained. The telescope, the stand, the motor, the go-to functionality, and everything is right there on that little scope. And we've got something that can go anywhere, and that's a beautiful thing about the telescope. Really like that. It's very portable, and I can really go anywhere. I'm looking forward to traveling with it. We got back from Maine about a month ago. We went to see the partial solar eclipse in Maine, and that was something I took the S50 with me, and that also is very handy and easy to travel with. But the S30 is smaller, it's more compact, lighter, and that makes a big difference when you're carrying a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna actually go to the website because I want to show you guys the video from the partial solar eclipse that we had up in Maine. We drove all the way up to, actually we flew to Maine, and actually here's a couple of pictures right here. It's a Star Pictures Miami and Bar Harbor. It was absolutely gorgeous. Very, very cold. We definitely were there in the off season. It doesn't really open up till like after April 15th, but it was a beautiful experience. And on this post at Star Pictures Miami, I've got a whole blog post on the pictures and the video and the experience of actually capturing this partial solar eclipse. We drove from Bar Harbor. We were hoping to catch the eclipse in Bar Harbor on the coast. It was not to be. It was going to be very cloudy. And thank God for Astrospheric. We looked at it and said, we didn't come up all this way to miss it. It was going to be solid whiteout. So we looked at it, and there was an opening in clarity up about 3.5 hours north of Bar Harbor. We drove to Presque Isle and were able to capture this video here. Let me, if you can see this. This is the actual eclipse and time lapse. It started out, it was not a total eclipse, it was a partial eclipse. So when the sun was rising, the eclipse had already started, and this is what we were able to capture. But we got it from about 70% down to 0, and you can see it moving to the left. That's the moon that got in front of the sun. So it was directly between the sun and us, and we're able to observe that from Maine, and that was an amazing experience. We're definitely hooked on solar eclipses and lunar eclipses. We had quite a first quarter with the lunar eclipse on the 14th of March, so a month before the actual partial solar eclipse. We had a lunar eclipse, and if you haven't seen that, that's on the website as well. Let me see if we can get out of here and go back and go to the actual here, and we'll go to the lunar eclipse. It's going to be dark here in a moment here in Miami, but this video here, very happy with. This one was the here from my backyard. So we've got that. This is a time lapse. Again, this is a 5-hour event. Over the course of 5 hours, was able to do a time lapse. I had the Sea Star on this for actually more like 4.5 hours in order to capture this time lapse. So what you're looking at here is 44 seconds of the time lapse. So 4.5 hours compressed into 44 seconds, and there is the full moon again. So that was a great event. Was able to capture that. Luckily, we're very, very fortunate here in Miami that we actually had clear skies. It's going to be cloudy. They said, "Oh, it's going to be cloudy." Here's some pictures of the setup that I had. I had the 2 laptops. I had the Celestron. There's the actual S30. The S50 right there on the stand. And these pictures at the bottom was able to capture with my iPhone on the eyepiece of the Celestron, and quite interesting shots when it was red. So you can check that out at Star Pictures Miami. Meanwhile, let's go back to we got the moon here, and I think it's dark enough that we'll be able to capture. Let's see if we can have it go find the Pleiades, because that's pretty bright. M45. So we're going to go up here, and we're going to go M45. The famous Pleiades, aka the Seven Sisters. It's a little bit low. Let's see if we can have it go over there and find the Pleiades here from Miami. We're still waiting for Starfront. It's an hour behind Miami, so it's still daylight over there. I'm going to check and see if they've opened up the roofs in Texas yet. Let me see here. While that is looking for the Pleiades, we're going to be going over to, let me see, and go here. I'm going to go up to the top here. Going to go to Starfront and check the status. This is the website for Starfront Observatories in Rockwood, Texas. Amazing place. They are now claiming to be the largest remote observatory in the world in less than 1 year, which is mind-boggling. They went from 2 buildings to now 8 buildings in about 9 months, which is really amazing. So happy to have my telescope there. Okay, so this is the all-sky camera. It's pointing straight up. We've got a view of the sun on the right side. Here are the building cameras. They haven't opened up the roofs yet. I'm in building 6. This is my building here. It's a really dark building compared to the other buildings. This is building 5 here. Pretty lit up because it's got the opening, the sides here, a lot of light comes in. And then building 6 is very dark all the time. It doesn't have those openings on the side, so it looks like it's nighttime there, but we'll wait for that to come along. And let's see here. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, it didn't find the Pleiades. You know what? It's actually probably too low on the horizon. Let's see. Now that let's see if we'll get it to go to Orion, to M42. Or you know what? We can have it go to M44. The Beehive cluster. Very, very bright cluster. It's pretty high. Let's see if we look at it. Here it's at 74 degrees. The Beehive cluster, also known as what is that? Precep or NGC 2632 is in the constellation of Cancer. It is one of the nearest open clusters to Earth. It's a beautiful, beautiful open star cluster. Should have no problem finding this one. It's pretty much almost straight up, unless there's some clouds there. But we've got a clear view of the moon, and that is very clear right now. As you can see right there, that is super clear, the moon shot. We're going to go zoom out of the moon while the S50 tries to find the... Okay, it's already seeing some stars on the S50, and we'll be able to take a look at the Beehive open star cluster M44 here in a moment. Thank you for joining us. This is Carlos with Star Pictures Miami. Today's the 30th of April, 2025, and we've got the S30 C star and the S50. There we go. You could see, and I'll be able to, while it's working, I'll take up the whole screen here. So what it's doing now, this is the full view of the S50. It's initialization in progress. So it's calibrating right now. It's looking at some stars. You could see some star movement there. It's moving around. You see some star trails there. It's trying to really refine its view, trying to lock onto this open cluster, and we should see that in just a little bit. It's moving around and looking at some different things to orientate itself, and then it's going to do some fine adjustments in the motor to make sure that it's locked on to M44, the Beehive cluster. This is one of my favorite targets to look at, and it's a favorite of a lot of astronomers. We've got visual telescopes with the Celestron. It's very clear to look at. It's a wide open cluster with a lot of bright stars in it. They resolve very easily. This one and M47 are two of my favorite open clusters. But the Beehive in particular is very, very bright. So it's got quite a few stars in there. Well, it's got about 26% done here. We'll go back to the moon here, and let's zoom in on the moon. But yeah, the Beehive cluster definitely is one of the top favorites to look at. Also on the C star as well. It's got some colored stars in there. If you let it sit there for a while, you'll actually start to see the different colors of that open cluster. And let's see what we've got here. Okay, it's still initializing here. So momentarily we should be able to see the stars of this open cluster. It's high. It's in the constellation of Cancer. It's at about 67 degrees above the horizon. And it's pretty near the zenith. The zenith being the highest point when you're outside and you're looking almost straight up. That's the zenith. So things that are targets that are in the zenith or near the zenith are very clear and good to look at, because there's a lot less atmosphere in that area of the night sky. There's less turbulence up there. There's less atmosphere, and the targets are usually clearer to view. So right now the S50 is auto-focusing. It's kind of refining its look at the stars here, and hopefully in a moment we'll be able to see M44. It's a beautiful Beautiful cluster here. I'm gonna try to get this iPad so I can look at what this is looking like here. Okay. Online Star Party. Okay. Hello, RW. Okay. In a second here. And it looks blurry right there, but we're going to see some stars here in a moment. There we go. This is the first. What this telescope does, all the sea stars do. That it's basically a camera that is taking multiple pictures. Right now, I have it set to take. Actually, I think I've got it to 20-second exposures. Yeah, 20-second exposures because I had it in EQ mode. So with 20-second exposures, it might be a little bit of trailing in there, but it's actually taking 20-second exposures. So it can either take 10-second exposures, 20-second exposures, or 30-second exposures. The longer the exposure, the more resolution and more definition we're going to have in the pictures. But without getting too technical, the scope is in an alt-azimuth mount mode, which the arm will move up and to the left or to the right, up and down. In EQ mode, it's aligned with Polaris, the North Star, at our latitude here, which is about 26 degrees here in Miami. And then the scope only has to move in one direction, so it doesn't have to go up and down, left to the right. It just goes in one, so I can use longer exposures. But tonight it's not in EQ mode. It's in regular alt-azimuth mode, and it's at 20 seconds. And it's doing a pretty good job at 20 seconds. We're not getting any star trails. If I was to put it at 30 seconds, we would probably get some star trails in there. But if you can see that, that is the Beehive open star cluster. It's almost straight up, 67 degrees, actually above 70 degrees. It's almost straight up. But yeah, it's a wonderful view there. I'm actually going to put it to, I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to put it back to 10 seconds. It's going to be clearer at 10 seconds. If I go here and let's see, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to advanced settings, or we're going to change it to, say it's at 20. I forgot to change it back to 10. Yeah, when it's in alt-azimuth mode, it's definitely should be used in 10. Let's see, M44 Beehive cluster. It's at 72 degrees to the west, so we're going to go gazing. Now it's going to look for it again, but since it already was there, should find it pretty quick. It's readjusting, and we've got the moon. In case you just joined us, we've got the moon over here in the view of my iPhone. This is the iPhone on the desktop of the Mac. In fact, it's a brand new setup. I just got this last week. It was time after 10 years of using my MacBook Pro for 10 years. I used it as much as it could be used, and definitely got my money's worth out of it. I had to upgrade, so I went a different route. I got a Mac Mini, which is just the computer brain without the monitor or the keyboard, and I got the latest, greatest processor, the M4 Mac Mini, and it's a very impressive machine. I got to tell you, it's amazing. It's very, very fast. It is very small. The footprint of this whole box is very, very small. I've got the keyboard hooked up. I got a 32-inch widescreen monitor, curved monitor, and it's great to have. It's almost like having 2 or 3 screens in one screen, which is amazing. But it's a wonderful machine. Let's see what we've got here on the okay. Going back to the S50, this is the Beehive cluster now at 10-second exposures. So okay, it's still moving around a little bit. We can see a little bit of movement in the stars. It just is still trying to orientate itself, having switched from 20-second exposures down to 10 seconds. So we'll have a clearer view here in a moment as it goes around. Okay, now they're getting a little clearer there. But yeah, the Mac Mini is I've always been a laptop person, but I realize I'm not really taking the laptop out that much, traveling with it. So this one here, I was able to get a more powerful machine for a lot less money because this thing was only $500 for the Mac Mini M4 with the latest technology, the latest chips. It's got 5 USB-C ports on it, the HDMI port on there, and if I needed to move it, it would be very easy to move because it's just a little box there. Okay, so there we've got the Beehive cluster on the view of the S30 here from Miami. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, let's see. The moon and Jupiter. Let me go outside and see. Yeah, the moon and Jupiter should be very close. I'm going to step outside for a second, see if we've got a view. Oh, wow. Should definitely go outside, take a look out. If it's clear where you are, it's clear here in Kendall. You can look at the moon, and then I'm going to see if I can go a wide shot of the moon. Here, let me see here. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can go to this view. I'm just making some adjustments here. Let me see. Star pictures. Okay, now let's put this in here. And we're going to go and try to get a wide view because last night the Jupiter was pretty close to the moon, but tonight it's actually closer. So let's go over here to the Seastar app. That's the moon. That's a live view of the moon, but we're going to go to the wide field camera here. And I'm going to turn off the light here if we can see. Yeah, there's, okay. Kind of see if we can. Oops, I moved it a little bit, but let me get it back down here. Oh, moved it too fast. But you can kind of see it. A little bit more. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to see on the screen there, but right there, that's the moon, and that little dot right there is Jupiter. Right there. I'm gonna go back to looking at the moon straight up. We'll move this a little bit more. There we go. There's the moon. Okay. There we go. And there's the moon back centered in the view of the S30. This is the S30 taking that shot. I'm wondering if I could, probably too wide. to be able to get the whole view of. Let me see if I could do in what's called mosaic mode. Let me turn the light back on so I think I'm in the witness protection program or something here. We can go to opening the stargazing. Let's look at the. Okay, there's the moon there. This is the atlas, the sky atlas here. If we go to the framing right now, let me see if I can do this. I can tell it to stop looking at. Let's actually have it go to Jupiter. Have it go to Jupiter. It's moving around. You should find Jupiter because it's really close to the moon. So right now it's trying to find Jupiter. If I can find Jupiter, I might be able to do a mosaic and get a wide view of the moon and the Jupiter at the same time in one frame. I don't know if it's going to be close enough to the moon, but we'll give it the old college try. Let's see. Okay, there's Jupiter there. Okay, if I go, okay, can I go, okay. Okay, there's Jupiter. If I could get it to go to the sky atlas here, and then open up the framing. Yeah, no, it's not going to let me do that. It's too far apart. But yeah, let's see if we can go. What can we go to here? We can go to another open cluster. We can go to M. Let's go to M37. So what we can do here is go to the atlas on the dashboard, and then go here to the sky atlas, and we'll look at, let's say, M37, the salt and pepper cluster, and that is in the northwest at about 33 degrees. Locate there, and then let's open up the framing. Okay, there's the open cluster right there. Let's go to it. So yeah, so right now, this is in the constellation of Auriga. It's going to go to this particular open star cluster, M47, and really home in on it. We should be able to have a pretty good view of that. But let me go back to the Sea Star. There's the beehive on the Sea Star. So this is the second scope I've got set up here in Miami in the back patio. That's right now about 6 minutes worth of resolution on the beehive cluster. That's the open cluster that we got a great view of tonight. And the S30 is homing in on another open star cluster, M47. Should have that here momentarily. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is Carlos with Star Pictures Miami, and we're in Miami. We're looking at some things in the night sky through two Sea Star telescopes, smart telescopes, the S30, the new S30 smart telescope, and the S50 smart telescope. This view of the beehive cluster is on the S50 smart telescope. That's it's got a bigger aperture. It gathers more light. It's a tighter field of view, but it actually I like the resolution of it a little bit better than the S30. The S30 does a great job, but the S50, the larger aperture, definitely is able to collect more light and produce brighter images. A little bit more detail on there. But let's look at what the S30 is. It's initializing. It's preparing for image enhancing. So it's still working there to get that. I'm sorry, M30 37, the salt and pepper. I was thinking of 47. That's my favorite. But this is M37 that the S30 is working on right now. And it's preparing for image enhancing. It's about 40%. It's refining its image. It's doing some calibrations, doing some darks right now to prep the sensor for the imaging there, and we'll have that here momentarily. It's about 80%, 82%. So we're very close. We'll be able to see that open star cluster here. With my desktop, it's like a forest on the computer there, the iPhone view, which I'm really enjoying using this view. I can move it around. This is actually, I can control my iPhone right from my desktop computer, which is pretty amazing. It's auto-focusing right now, and we should be able to see the image here in just a moment. Well, it's still doing that. I'm going to check back with Texas and see what's going on over there at Starfront. Oh, they opened up the roofs. Yay. The roofs are open. All right. That's a good sign. These roofs have not opened in about a week. So, very excited about that. It's just been about 6-7 days of clouds and wind and all kinds of bad weather for astrophotography, and these roofs are open, which is a great thing. So it's still broad daylight over there. I mean, the sun is going to be starting to set here pretty soon in Texas. Let's see. Let's go to my building. Oh, my building, the roof is still closed. Building 6. I'll open that up momentarily. But yeah, the roofs, if you could see here, this image, these roofs on the buildings, there's 8 buildings there now. They're on rails in the back, and if it's good scene conditions, the roofs will roll off on the rails and expose the telescopes that are in each building. Each building has about, I'd say, between 30 to 30 scopes, maybe 30 to 40 in one of the buildings that has the smaller piers. They can put them closer together, but around 30 scopes per building. So they've got about 8 buildings. They've got a few more buildings in the works right now because they're growing by leaps and bounds, and they're able to accommodate more scopes by creating these buildings. Basically, it's a concrete slab. It's a metal structure, and they can get one of these buildings done in probably a couple weeks, if not less, and have 30 telescopes up and running in about 30 to 60 days after or sooner than that, after the construction of the buildings. But they roll the roofs off. It's clear. Now each scope is controlled by someone, an individual that could be here in the United States, could be anywhere in the world. There's people that have their scopes. I've sent them from Japan, from Germany, from Africa, all over the place. And they log in remotely, like I do, like I've done here tonight with my telescopes here in Miami. And see, there's building 1. That's the building I was originally in since July. And then there's building 2, building 3. Building 2's got some really nice scopes here. These bad boys here, these are 2 plane wave telescopes. Each one of those telescopes is about $20,000 with all the equipment, all the mounts and everything. That's probably close to $30,000, for those telescopes. It's amazing. Just amazing. But we've got clear skies tonight in Rockwood, Texas. So let's check back here with M37 or M44 on the S50. This is what we've got on the S50. Okay, that's still looking. Let's see. We should have an image here in a second. I don't know why it's didn't find it. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you something. I took the S30 out to. We have some friends that live around Lake Okeechobee in a place called Montura Estates, and they're big plots of land out there, and they have a ranch there, and we were able to get some images that are pretty impressive. Here with the S30 was able. This is the I can zoom in on that. Actually, let me set my my zoom functionality here on the Mac Mini. We're going to go to zoom. I'm going to go to command. No. Oh yes. I'm going to go scroll gesture. There we go. Okay. So we're going back here, and let me close this window here. This is the Whirlpool Galaxy with the S30. That's about 3 hours worth of data capture with the S30 at 10 seconds, just in the standard Alt-Az mode, not in the EQ mode. I looked at the light pollution map there, and for that area there in Montura Estates there, which is kind of southwest to the west of Lake Okeechobee. It's a Bortle 4. I was saying it's a Bortle 4. It looked very dark, and it's really far away from any lights that I could see, any city lights. There were some lights there on the ranch and one of the neighboring properties, but still very dark. That's the Whirlpool Galaxy there with the S30 from this past weekend. And let's see here. Okay. I'm going to go back. This is the moon today. I mean, sorry, the sun. Huge sunspot on the top. I mean, this thing is one of the largest sunspots I've ever seen. Right there on the top. Now, if that sunspot was down here towards the middle and pointed straight at Earth, we would probably have some heightened northern lights activity or aurora borealis lights. A little bit on the top there. I don't know if that's going to affect us, because that usually means there's some sort of probably a coronal mass ejection from a spot that big. Would be a sizable one, and if we have any of those, we get a lot of interaction from the energy that was released with the magnetic sphere of the Earth, and we'll get northern lights. And if you're up north, sometimes if they're powerful enough, the northern lights will be visible from further down south into, like, say, Kentucky or Tennessee, and it's amazing. I remember last year there was an event. There was a lot of northern light activity. They were saying it was going to get down. It was going to be visible all the way down to Alabama. Well, in reality, they were wrong. It was more powerful than they had predicted, and people were reporting seeing northern lights from Florida and even from the Everglades here in Miami. The sky was red, so that was pretty impressive there. All right. So there we go. That's the sun there. And let's see what we've got going on here. Why didn't that find? Let's go look at. Let's have it look at M81. This is the Bode's Galaxy. Messier 81, also known as NGC 3031, is a grand design spiral galaxy about 12 million light years away in the constellation of Ursa Major, which is the Big Dipper. And it's at 46 degrees right now to the north. And let's see, I'm wondering if this is positioned enough that probably not to the north. Let's have it go somewhere else. Let's have it go to M47. That's an open star cluster. I know that that will be something that it can image. M47. Pretty bright star cluster. It's about 34 degrees. Messier 47 is an open star cluster in the southern constellation of Puppis. It was discovered by Giovanni Battista in 1654. So people back then were discovering all types of things in 1654. This is shortly after Galileo invented the telescope, which was about 1640. So 14 years after, this gentleman got his hands on a telescope and discovered this open cluster, M47. It's a beautiful cluster. I love it. Let's see if we can find it. With the C-Star S30. So right now it's looking at the night sky, and it should be able to find this here in a moment. Pretty bright open cluster. Let me see if we make sure we got clear skies. There are a couple clouds out there. Let's see. All right. I'm back. Yeah, there are some clouds, but it's clear to the west, so we should be good here. So what have we got? Come on, M47. We'll go back to M44. So that's the Beehive. Let's move the S50 off the Beehive, and let's see if we could find the moon, because the moon with the S50 is going to be bigger. So let's see if we go here. Okay, we've got a good image of M44, and I'll be posting these pictures online. Let's go here, and then let's go back to solar system, and we can look at some of these planets, but the planets aren't really that good with the smart telescopes. The moon is, because it's bright and it's big. So these scopes have a much better performance with actually dimmer targets, nebulas, star clusters, galaxies. Oh, the moon just zoomed by real quick. If you saw that, it's scanning out. It should be coming now from the right to left here in a moment. It saw the moon go by, and hopefully we'll be able to catch that moon here pretty soon. It's moving around and looking at some stars and saying, okay, I know what day it is, I know what time it is, and there's the moon. There we go. It's kind of centering it, and boom, 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 bouncing it back and forth. Is the moon in the center? I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to have it move over there like that. Okay. Now, why does it look like that? Let me see. It's too bright on the bottom. Let me try to, I'm going to take a picture of it. Okay. Go to settings. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it shouldn't look that, it's kind of blown out there. Let me try to go to it again. Go to the moon. There we go. Finding the moon. The moon is centered. Okay, so there's the moon. Right there, we've got the craters on the bottom view. It's a little overexposed. But that is the moon with the S50. Let's see what the S30. No, the S30's not didn't. Let's see. If we go over and try to find, let's get something going here with this. How about why didn't it find M47? Let's have it go there. Try to find M47 again. In the meantime, there's the moon here from Miami, the moon over Miami from Kendall with the Seastar S50. Right now it's a live view. I can zoom in. You can definitely see a lot of the craters there on the bottom. If you can look closely, you can see some turbulence in there. In that's caused by the atmosphere between the lens of the S50 and the moon. Kind of like when you look off in the distance in like say you're in the desert, it's very hot on the street, and you see the kind of the waves from the heat reflecting off the street or the sidewalk. Similar deal here with the view of the moon. I'm zoomed in twice there. If I go 4 times zoom, there's a couple of the craters right there on the bottom side. But yeah, that's 4 times zoom there. I'll go back to 1 time zoom, and that is the view of the moon right there. Let's see what the S30 is doing. Let me check something here. I don't know why it's not finding it. It's having a hard time. You know, it might be the clouds here. With some clouds in the area, that could be a possibility. But yeah, that's the moon. With a visual telescope, it looks spectacular. In the future online star party, I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on the eyepiece like I did with the lunar eclipse and get some very amazing shots with the iPhone on the eyepiece of the Celestron. But we can see that the moon is right now is about 10%, so it's only 10% illuminated. I think Sunday was the new moon, so when we have the new moon, there's no light on it. It could be out in the night sky, and you'd really have to look very hard to find it because it's not reflecting any light because of its position in relation to the sun. So right now it's waxing, and every night for the next about 10 days, it's going to get brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. So until it gets to a full moon, and then when it gets past a full moon, it'll be waxing and waning. I'm sorry, waning and diminishing in its luminosity. And it's beautiful to look at when it's about 30-40% illuminated. It's really something spectacular on there. I don't know why. Let's see if we can. Let's go to something else here with the S30. Thank you for joining us here. We've got a few people here. Point to Jupiter. Okay, you want to look at Jupiter? We could do that. Let's try to go to Jupiter with the S30. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the solar system, and we're going to go to Jupiter because here Astro Explorer asked to go Jupiter. So we're going to go and we're going to point the S30 at Jupiter. Let's see if it can, let me see if it's got enough clearance to see Jupiter. Okay. All right. That's Jupiter there. Believe it or not, it looks like a little dot. And I'm gonna focus in a little bit more. I'm gonna go 4 times zoom on Jupiter. Okay. I'm gonna tell it to focus there. The issue that the smart scopes have with planets is that, for example, here the sensor, the camera is trying to look at a very small, bright dot against a black background, and it's struggling right even right now as we speak to really focus on the subject there because it's a solid white light in the eye of the sensor on the camera there. So look at that. It's trying to like hyper focus on. There's like, what am I looking at here? And it doesn't do a good job with planets. I mean, they'll even tell you in the sales manual for the Seastars, for planets, it's not good. You're better off with a visual telescope. For dark nebulas and deep space objects, yes, yeah, you can definitely see some things there. I'm going to have the S50 go to Jupiter. Let's see. Let's move this away from the moon. Let's go to solar system. And we'll go to Jupiter. It's at 21 degrees right now in the west. And we'll go 2. So right now it's finding Jupiter. It was on the moon, so it doesn't have too far to travel. It is working to find Jupiter in the night sky. And we should be able to maybe see some of the Galilean moons as little dots. They look like little stars around Jupiter here. Let's see. Is the S50 better than the S30? Well, okay, there we go. I'm going to go 2 times zoom. You'll be able to see. This is a better view of Jupiter. It's not that great. You're not going to be able to see the bands of Jupiter or anything, but you could see the 4 Galilean moons. That's Jupiter. That bright dot is Jupiter. Right above it is one of the 4 Galilean moons. There's one below it, and there's another one a little bit higher, and then there's one here off in the distance on there. So we can find out which moons, what positions are the 4 Galilean moons, because we got the Io, Callisto, Ganymede, and Europa, which are the 4 Galilean moons of Jupiter. But if I open up, let me see here, we go to Stellarium, which is one of my favorite pieces of software. I was going to Jupiter. This will tell us the positions of the moons live. So we'll zoom in. Okay. So there we go. We're looking at, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. The one at the bottom is Europa. The second one is right above it to the left is Ganymede. The one above Ganymede is Io, and the one way up is Callisto. So we'll go back to the live view. There we go. This is Callisto at the very top, right? Then Io here. Then Ganymede right on the top left. And then Europa down at the bottom. So these planets, or these moons, they move around Jupiter uh, quite quickly. Oh, there was a satellite that just went right by, went through the view, which is not surprising. This is a common occurrence now with astronomy. We've got so many satellites, and every week SpaceX launching 30, 40 new satellites. Um, so it's a lot of satellite pollution is what I call it, in the night sky. But these, getting back to Jupiter, um, these moons travel around Jupiter, and I don't know if this one right now, this I forget which one. This is a Ganymede, the closest one on the top. It could have been transiting in front of Jupiter or coming up from behind. I'm not exactly sure, but they move quite a bit. Jupiter, being the largest planet in our solar system, is impressive in how fast it uh, rotates. Earth, it makes a full rotation once every 24 hours. On Jupiter, it's once every 10 hours. So that planet is, I forget how large, how much larger. It's over 100 times larger, well over 100 times larger than Earth. And it turns once every 10 hours. So it is spinning at a very, very high rate. And these moons around it also move quite quickly. Um, so that's Jupiter right there. You've got the comet. Astro Explorer is asking about the comet, the Swan F2 comet. I did image that a couple weeks ago when it was first announced. I was able to capture an image of it real early in the morning from Texas, and that was it appeared like a tiny, tiny little green dot. It's I think it did reach its perihelion, and it made it past the sun. And if it keeps it together, we should be able to see it here in the coming weeks in the night sky, hopefully naked eye or with a pair of binoculars. But yeah, that good evening, Kristen Jones. Hi, how are you? And we've got Donald is here. Greetings from Maine. Hello. Thank you for joining us all the way from Maine. You're probably a friend of David Clark. He was up in Maine and found David online and his astronomy club up there in Maine, and had some good conversations with David Clark. He's a retired astronomy professor from University of Maine, and was very helpful in pointing out some good areas to go viewing the night sky from there in Maine. And we were in Bar Harbor, and I appreciate his assistance very much. But um, good evening, and we've got Robert. Uh, the Bortle rating at my location here in Kendall, which is a suburb of Miami, where we're about an 8, a Bortle 8, which is not that great. Some people say, oh, it's a 7. It depends. I'm in the suburbs. There's lights. Um, we have some light reflection from some neighbors here, but we can still go outside. And with these smart telescopes like the S30 or the S50, they do a great job of cutting through the light pollution, because the scopes have a built-in light pollution filter. So where you would normally have a hard time trying to image something or view something from a light polluted area, the C-Star will, if it senses there's a lot of light pollution, it will automatically engage the light pollution filter automatically. It also has a second filter, an IR cut filter, which is an infrared cut filter, which is just amazing. The fact that it can automatically, and you can manually turn on or off the filter engagements over the sensor of the camera, which is phenomenal. But that light pollution filter is a wonderful, wonderful thing because it actually allows us to image things that we would not normally be able to view from a light polluted area. So up in Maine, it's a lot darker than it is here in Miami. We've got a lot of light pollution from Miami, downtown Miami. If I was to go outside and look to the north east from where I am in Kendall, which is to the southwest of downtown Miami, we would see kind of a light dome there because of all the light from downtown. So I try not to image towards the northeast. Actually, my back patio doesn't allow me because I've got some palm trees there that actually block the view to the northeast, and that's just fine with me because there's just too much light over that way. So we're on Jupiter here with the S50. Let's see what's going on over here with the S30. Let's connect iPhone. Okay, that's Jupiter over here on the S30. Let's have the S30 go to something else. Let's have it go here to, let me see here. Let me stop the mode here, the image mode on the S30. I'm going to skip that. And let's have it go. Where shall we go here? How about what's something that's bright out and it's kind of to the north? I tried M47. I don't know why I couldn't find M47. Oh, Thor's helmet is up. Thor's helmet is a very cool. It's 28 degrees to the southwest. Yeah, that my house will be blocking that. So no Thor's helmet tonight. But that is a very, very cool target. Really got to get that from, it's very faint nebula there. You got to get that from very, definitely on a new moon night. Let's see. As we scan here, a flaming nebula. That's too low. That's an Orion. Orion is leaving us, unfortunately. Running Man, that's all in Orion. Eye of God not visible. Let's go to, what we can go to. Let's try the M51. Let me look at M51. Okay, it's in the northeast. No, not gonna work. How about let's look at some a galaxy. What's a bright galaxy here? We can try to find something. Let me see, the Leo triplet. It's in the south and it's very high. Let's see, the Leo triplet is definitely a fan favorite there. Let's go try the Leo triplet, which is a group of 3 galaxies that are very close to each other, and named the Leo triplet because it's in the constellation of Leo. How appropriate. So let's see. Kristen was asking, can it locate Andromeda? Andromeda, I believe, yes. Andromeda is a little bit low on the horizon. If we go to Stellarium over here, and then we put M31 Andromeda, I think it's well below acceptable viewing right now. Let me zoom out. Oh yeah, it's actually below the horizon right now. It's already below the horizon. Yeah, Andromeda really in the early winter was one of the best time to look at it right now. It's so I don't know if you can make this out. This is the view from Stellarium. This is a great program. You could just go to stellarium-web.org, stellarium-web.org, and it's a free application, and you can put any target that you're thinking of imaging or you're just curious about up in the search. It will give you the actual position where it's going to be. You can adjust it in the bottom right by moving the timeline, so you can actually see. So it was visible M31 during the day, but we wouldn't have been able to see it there. And then as I move the timeline and it gets darker, you see it dips below the horizon, and then boom, it's already below the horizon there. So we've got, and this is north, so we're looking north. Yeah, this, I enjoyed imaging M31. That was that was a great target. I mean, M31 besides Orion, I don't know if there's anything better to look at that's really spectacular. But yeah, this program is Stellarium. I highly suggest it, and you can get it for your smartphone as well. There's a free version of it. There's a paid version, but the free version works great. You could just go up here and put, for example, M42, which is the Orion Nebula, here, and that is barely above the horizon right now. But if I was to move it like there, okay, that was earlier. I can then, I'm going to zoom in. There is M42, and it even incredibly will show you a live view of the satellites. I don't know if you can see this. There's satellites moving around Orion right now. These are live views. So there's people actually like doing that, tracking satellites and the movement of satellites. It's a live view of the satellites, and it tells you which ones here. This was a Starlink 31 220, moving away. They move quite fast. I don't know how you could track a satellite, but anyways, this is the Orion Nebula here, and it tells you all the information. So here on the left side, it tells you, some data on the target there. It's M42, also known as NGC 1976, and it's a diffuse nebula in the Milky Way, and it's probably the #1 target out there to look at. But this is a great program. If you just want to learn about the night sky, look at this over here. You can go over here and then look at like the Horsehead Nebula. So I'm going to zoom in there, and there's the Horsehead Nebula, and that's my background actually. I don't know if I'll get out of the way, and you could see that I imaged the Horsehead. I'm going to move out of the way there. There's a Horsehead. That's a picture I took of the Horsehead Nebula. It's my screensaver, my background here, but took that from Texas. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful target. But again, with this program, Stellarium, anything you want to look at here, we want to look at the 3 belt stars of Orion. Mintaka, which is my favorite one because it's actually a double star. It tells you here the designation of the information. Mintaka designation is a Delta Orionis type of a star, and it's 1,200 light years from the sun in the constellation of Orion. But it tells you live views of these satellites, which is interesting, but disturbing at the same time. We don't want to see satellites in our view, for sure. Yeah, it is an awesome program. Check it out. Yeah, let's see. It says Robert says, I like that. I can picture the field of view of my setup with Stellarium. Yes. Stellarium, you can actually connect it with your telescope, and actually some of the telescopes, you can use Stellarium to tell your telescope where to go. So you can, like, say, Orion Nebula, point it right there and have it go to, and it will communicate to your telescope and have it move the arm. If it's a go-to, if it has functionality, that go-to functionality, and will tell the telescope to move to the target, which is amazing. Really amazing. So Stellarium, just a awesome program. Let's see where are we at here with the. Let's go back to the S30. I don't know why we're having a hard time here with the S30 tonight. Let me see. I'm going to give it a chance here. Loading image. So it's capturing something. Okay, that's the S50 with Jupiter right there. Let's see if we can. That was Jupiter. We looked at Jupiter. Let's go someplace else. What's something that we can look at that, okay. We can try to look at, let's see. Let's look at some, if there's any open clusters. M46. Let me see here. What are these open clusters? It's kind of high. Okay, this one, the GoldenEye, M67. It's in the southwest. It's pretty high. Let's see if we could find this one here. Okay, so the S50 is going to M67, the GoldenEye open star cluster. Looks like a pretty bright star cluster. So it's moving away from Jupiter and going to M67. Thank you for joining us tonight here with Star Pictures Miami. And if you want some more information and want to look at some more images, you can definitely go to my website, starpicturesmiami.com. I've got a lot of images, and I post a lot of things that I'm doing with the telescopes here from Miami, and my second S50 that I have at a remote observatory in Rockwood, Texas, out in the middle of Texas. Hopefully that will be coming online soon. In fact, now that I mentioned it, let's see what's going on in Texas. Let's go to Starfront and look at the status page. Okay. Okay. Still daylight out there. These cameras are very sensitive. It actually could almost be very dark, but the cameras, these are live views of the telescopes in the various buildings. See if, why is the roof of my building, building 6, closed? That's weird. Unless there's some sort of issue with building 6. But yeah, buildings 1 through 5 are all open, and we're looking at the telescopes that are in the different buildings there. Let's go back to the S50. Okay, there's the GoldenEye open star cluster. I don't know if we can. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. This is a group of stars. So there's a lot of open star clusters in the night sky. I like imaging them and viewing them through the telescope because they're interesting. They form different types of shapes and things like that. For example, M6 is the butterfly open star cluster, and people say, "Well, I don't see a butterfly," but if you look at it closely, I could draw you out the butterfly. It's actually quite vivid in the formation of that open cluster. So this is the GoldenEye. I don't know why it's called the GoldenEye, but that is the M67 open star cluster right there. That's only with about 1 minute and 40 seconds worth of 10-second exposures. So every time the dial goes around the bottom, it's taking a 10-second exposure. Yeah, too many satellites out there for sure. For sure, Kristen. That's they're great. We love having internet with Starlink out in the middle of nowhere or on a boat out in the ocean. But the trade-off is we have a lot of satellite pollution. Let me see. Are you guys seeing this open star cluster? Can you see this? Hopefully you can. Okay, yes. There we go. Yes, so we've got M67 up here on the view of the S50. And I still don't know what is going on with the S30 here. You know what? I'm going to reboot the S30. I'm going to go, well, you know what? Let me close the arm of the S30. It could be that it's out of balance. That could be it. So let's have a look here. As soon as it finishes closing the arm, I'm going to look at the level sensor and see if it's level. That's important for these telescopes to be level, because if it's not level, it has a harder time in the tracking of a target. And okay, the arm closed. We go here. We go to advanced features. We go to calibrate, and we go to adjust level. Oh, yeah, it's way off. So let me go adjust that real quick. Let me fix that. Be right back. All right. Right back here. So now we've got 2 green dots, and that's a good thing. And I'll briefly explain why. It's got a built-in level sensor. So if we get 2 green dots and they're meeting here and they're green, we could do this little trick that they incorporated in here, which I think is wonderful, because it's hard to get it perfectly level in a manual sense. So we go over here and we go to the level sensor calibration, and then this will calibrate the sensor and adjust the view of the camera so that it matches a level calibration. Now we go to, after it did the calibration, adjust, and boom, it's 0.1. It's like, wow, automatically leveled the sensor. So it actually tricks the sensors. Like, yeah, we're level. We were off a little bit, but we're good now. So now we should be able to get much better tracking. I moved it off the floor and I put it on my patio table. Luckily, there's not a lot of wind out tonight, so it shouldn't vibrate too much. So we go here. We'll go to what we were looking at. We're trying to look at. Let's try to look at if we can go to M81. Let's see if we can go to M81. This is an amazing galaxy. It's a grand design spiral galaxy, 12 million light years away in the constellation of Ursa Major, which is the Big Dipper. And let's see if we can get that. While it's looking, we'll go back to the S50, and there's the GoldenEye M67 open star cluster. I'm going to find out what's going on with Texas here. Is building 6. Let's see. Why is building 6 exposure? Let me see something. Oh, okay. So that's not a real-time picture. That was from last night. So some of the cameras jammed up. Okay, so the roof is most likely. Let's see. I have a way to find out if my camera, if building 6 roof is open, because I just remembered I have a camera underneath my Sea Star looking straight up. So we're going to go over to the Mac Mini in Texas. We're going to go. Now we're looking at the desktop of the Mac Mini in Texas. There's the desktop view. We are in Texas right now. So we're going to go here. I have a, yep, the roof is open. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is a camera that I've got mounted underneath the Seastar, the S50, at Starfront Remote Observatories. And it's pointing straight up. You can see this black thing over here. That's the Seastar on the left side. This kind of purplish area here, that's the sky right there. It's still a little too dark to see any stars, but the roof is definitely open. So in a little bit, we'll be able to move this around and should be able to. I wonder if I could see the moon from over there. Let's see. Let's see if I'll tell the Seastar to see if we can find the moon. Might be bright enough for it to find the moon. So if we go here to solar system, moon, go to it wants to do that calibration. No, we're not going to do that calibration tonight. Let's see if we can still find the moon. Okay, go to the moon. Okay, well, it's trying to find the moon. We've got, let's see here. Thank you for joining us. This is the online star party with Star Pictures Miami. We've got an S50, an S30 here in Miami, and I just logged on to the S50 in Rockwood, Texas at Starfront, and you can see that the Seastar is moving. So you can see that this is a live view of the camera underneath the Seastar. It's moving right there, and it's moving around trying to find the moon right there. So what's cool about this setup here, obviously it's in a remote observatory, that's the first cool thing. The second cool thing is that the second camera that I've got underneath the Seastar looking up will capture the stars and the Seastar. So as it's imaging a target, say it's imaging, a nebula or a galaxy, and the scope is turning very, very slowly, it follows the stars and the movement of the telescope. And then in the morning after it's done, I'll do a time lapse, and it shows the advanced movement of the scope in relation to the stars and everything. It's quite interesting. But also the camera serves a function. I can see the power cable on the base of the Seastar to see if it's getting tangled up or something like that. And if it is, I put in a support ticket, and they come over and take a look at it. Let's see. Oh, it did not find the moon. Okay, it didn't find the moon. Let's wait for it. I'm wondering if it's dark enough to see. If it can see, let me close the arm there. Well, it looks like the feed for the YouTube live is a little delayed. But thank you for joining us. We've got the S50 live in Texas here. I'm going to see if we can go to, let's see, like the Pleiades. Might be a little low. Okay, it just closed. If we go down here to the Sky Atlas, and we'll go to M45. M45, Pleiades star cluster. It's at 18 degrees to the west. Okay, we should be able to see that. See if we can find it. I'm going to expand the view there to try to capture the whole thing there. Okay. And I'm going to go there. We're going to go to and the sea star. I'm going to now you're going to see the view here on the left. This is the sea star moving. It's turning. The arm is opening. And it is now looking for M45, the Seven Sisters Pleiades star cluster. So while it's doing that, let's see what it's doing in the actual sea star, the view of the sea star. So it's going to it. It's moving around, and hopefully we'll be able to have a view of M45 here in a minute. But yeah, this is the Sky Atlas, so we can see. This is another great tool of the sea star. It has a full. It's kind of like almost like a built-in stellarium into the dashboard of the sea star. You can actually move around, look up targets, get some basic background on the target, find out the coordinates of it, see what direction it's in, what degree it's at in relation to the horizon, and find out if it's viewable from where you are. Here at Starfront, I have a good clear view to the south. I have about I have to keep it above 12 degrees to the east or the west, but that's still pretty good. And then to the north, I've got got to keep it about 14 degrees, above 14 degrees, to have ability to shoot anything towards the north. And that's because of the walls around the building. So where the scope is, there's walls on each side, and on the front and the back. The front, there's a taller wall, but the sea star is positioned in Building 6 on what they call the Sea Star Bar, which used to be. I used to be on an individual pier over there, but when I met with Josh and Nate back in February, they came down to the Winter Star Party in the Keys, and they were passing this idea to me. They were telling me about this idea. They said, instead of individual piers, we have this idea where we can put a steel beam on the front of one of the buildings, and then put about 12 or 14 sea stars on that beam, because the sea stars are so small. They can be about maybe a foot and a half apart from each other. They don't need to be that far apart. And as a way to get more efficiency out of the floor space. And I said, yeah, if you could do it. And they said, yeah, by doing that, we could actually lower the monthly rate, from $150 down to $99. I said, if you guys can do that, you're going to hit it out of the ballpark. Because for $99 a month, having your Sea Star, your smart telescope at a Bortle 1 remote observatory, sign me up. So that's what they've done, and that's where it's at right now. Let's see what we've got here. There, S50. It's still working on trying to get it. Let's see. In the meantime, we'll go back to, okay, there's the GoldenEye, the star cluster here from Miami. Thank you for joining us tonight here with the online star party. Let's see. Robert is saying here, I would have been impressed if it could find the moon without seeing enough stars to plate solve. Yeah. Well, actually, it really, like finding the sun, it can't plate solve because there's no stars during the day. Similarly, with the moon, it will um, um, use the compass calibration internally on the sea star to find the moon. And it will look at some stars if it's dark enough. But I've had the sea star find the moon when it's, there's still some, right after the sunset, there's still some light out there, and it finds the moon, which is impressive because it's hardly seeing, there's not even two or three stars to see. So it uses the compass to find the moon there. But it otherwise we'll do the plate solving there. Let's see, maybe the M45 is just, let's see, it didn't find M45. Let me go here. If I go, it's going to load the image. It's trying. So this is the S50 in Texas right here. And there's the view. I still can't see any stars in the view of my PeerCam. There's one up there. Maybe it's still too bright for it to find anything. Right now in Texas, what time is it here? It's almost 10 o'clock, so it should be 9 o'clock. Yeah. After 9 is when it starts to get dark. So we're getting there. In the meantime, let me see if we can find something bright. Let's see if we can find Jupiter real quick. Ooh, lost the connection with the. What happened there? Ooh, we lost connection with the. There it is. We try to connect again. Connect. Ooh, we lost connection with the sea star. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, this is my sea star here. We'd have to reboot the Mac. Yeah, okay. Let's reboot the Mac. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here. We're going to reboot the Mac. And we could do this remotely, which is a wonderful thing. I'm going to reboot. Is there a SpaceX launch? Let me see. Florida in 24 hours. It's like every other day this is SpaceX launch now. Restart. Restart. Oh, did it connect? No. Restart. Okay, so I'm rebooting the Mac in Texas. We're going to go back to the Sea Star here in Miami, and we're going to go open up the iPhone again to get the view of whatever we're looking at here. M81. Not getting M81 on the S30. We reboot this little baby here. We're going to go there. I'm going to reboot you. We're going to go. I'm going to shut down the S30 and have it reboot. Okay. Meanwhile, we've got the M67 there. Let's have it. That's M67. I'm going to save this picture here. So that's saved. Now, let's go to another target. Let's go to, how about M38, M35. The shoe buckle. It's at 23 degrees to the west. Okay. Let's go to that. The shoe buckle star cluster. That's another cool one. Let's check back with Texas and see where we're at here with the Mac Mini. Connected. Okay. We don't need OpenVPN. Okay. C-Star. Oh, it's asking me. Oh, hold on a second. Let's see here. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Okay, we should be connected here. Connect. I don't know why it's not seeing it. I don't know. Here's my connection here. All right, let's try. Nope, failed. Let's try it again. Oh, there we go. Now it's connected. I don't know what happened there, but we're connected again. Okay, let me close the arm there. Make sure that it closes with the view of the peer cam. Okay. Arm is closing. It's getting darker in Texas. All right. Let's see if we can actually see something here tonight. Let's see with the close the arm. Okay. And oh, is it still imaging? Let's see here. Tell it to stop. Tell it to cancel. Okay, Now we'll tell it to close the arm. There it goes. It's closing the arm. It's turning. That's the view from the pier cam underneath the Sea Star on Starfront. Okay, we're starting to see some stars up here. So it's getting dark enough we can see stars. Okay, let's see if we can. Let's have it find something like the Beehive cluster, just for the hell of it. Let's see here. M44. M44 coming up from Texas. We hit enter. Beehive cluster. It's at 68 degrees. It's way, way up in the southwest sky. Go gazing. And then now Sea Star should come alive. There it is. It's moving. It's alive. I'm going to zoom in there. See the Sea Star turning. Actually, I'm wondering if I can. Okay, so it's moving, and should be that arm should be pointing almost straight up. Okay. Let's see what it's looking at over here on the dashboard. Distance to target, 41 degrees. Okay, it's moving around. Device disconnected. Why is it saying that? Okay. Well, it's working. All right. Hopefully we'll have something there to look at here in a moment. Okay, it looked like it stopped, so it's refining. It looks like it's going straight up. Okay, there we go. Moving to the first calibration point, Sea Star's performing horizontal calibration to correct placement errors. This process takes about 2 minutes. Okay, well, in the meantime, folks, let's go back to this is the shoe buckle star cluster from here in Miami. It's a little wonky because we've got probably one of my palm trees, and that looks iffy there. One of my palm trees is probably in the way there. So let's have it go someplace else. Let's have it. See if we can go to. I'm going to stop this M35, and let's go to 81 Boats Galaxy. We tried that before. That's in the north. Okay. I'm wondering if it's going to have enough clearance there. Let's see. Let's find out. Go gazing. So the S30 here, the S50, we're going to go to Boats Galaxy M81. Okay, it's almost, yes, the stars are becoming clearer here in Texas. It's almost done with the image enhancing. Let me see if we got enough clearance for me. Be right back. got a lot of clouds, folks. Here in Miami, all of a sudden the clouds have shown up. Let's see here. Yeah, no wonder. Got a lot of clouds, as you can see there. Let's see what we've got. Okay. This is Texas here. We should have a better view of M44 here in a moment. Thank you for joining us. We've got the Sea Star Live in Texas here. That's M44 from Starfront in Texas right now. And this is a star cluster we were looking at earlier here from Miami. But it's clear in Texas, and it's not clear here in Miami. And that's one of the reasons why I set up a remote telescope at another location like Starfront, because I greatly improved my odds of having good weather. If it's bad weather here, it's cloudy here in South Florida, usually it's clear and we have a night that we can image in Texas, or vice versa. If it's cloudy in Texas, which happened last week, it was cloudy for like 6 nights straight. It was clear here in Miami, and I was able to go on the back patio, very comfortable. It was cool and clear skies. Was imaging with the S30, and also looking through my Celestron 8SC. And yeah, I don't know why it's telling me that. It says randomly once in a while, it says it disconnected, but it's not disconnected. It's still live. So that's M44 with 10-second exposures from the Sea Star S50 in Texas. And these images, I'll make those available tonight, so that or tomorrow morning when we go online, I'll put them on YouTube. So so this is what's going on in Miami. We got some cloud action here. Let me see if there's anything clear to the west. Okay. The moon is still up pretty bright with the Sea Star. Let's stop M81. That's not going to happen. And we're going to go find. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this the S30 on the moon. Oh, I got to turn it back on. Hold on. I forgot I had turned off the S30 and I rebooted it, so it should be connecting here in a moment. Let's see. There we go. So it's still in balance. We're going to go advanced features. We're going to go to calibrate level adjustment 0.2. That works. Okay. Now let's go here and go solar system and then go to the moon. Let's see if we can find the moon on its own. If not, we'll find it with the secondary camera, which I love on the S30. It's awesome because if it can't find it, for some reason, I find that the S30 finds the moon and the sun less often automatically than the S50. The S50 does a pretty good job, but the S30 only finds it about maybe 25% of the time. So you see right now, didn't find the moon. So here, I'm going to move with the joystick. I'm going to move it up. Let me see, over here. And I try to find the moon, but it's could be covered up with a cloud right now. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. We're going to move over here. There's the moon. There. There we go. Okay. So you can see it. There's some clouds in front of it. See if we can center it. There. Okay, it's centering it, but there's some clouds. All right, it found the moon. Kind of looks kind of cool with some clouds in the front. It looks kind of eerie. Same thing with the sun. When I'm imaging the sun and there's some clouds moving on the front of it, it does look a little eerie. Let's see, we're going to zoom in twice there. You can see those clouds moving across. The moon. That's the moon from the S30 in Miami. Okay, how to recenter it. There it goes. Okay. There we go. Very good. See if the S50 can get the moon. No, we don't want that. We want solar system moon. Let's compare the moon with the S30 and the S50. Okay, the moon is out and pretty bright. S50 needs to find the moon, and it just did. There's the moon. Oh, they found it pretty fast. Oh, it moved away. Now it's going to ask, is the moon centered right now? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to tell it to center the moon manually here. And there we go. There's the moon. So that's the moon with the S50. And here's the moon on my iPhone with the S30. Put it back to one-time zoom. There we go. So S50, S30. S50, S30. And again, this is as big as I can get the view of the iPhone with this feature here. Let me see, view. Yeah. Spotlight, home screen. I tell it to go to home screen. Okay, it goes there. To move it over here, open up the app. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of a cool feature. I can control the iPhone without having to touch the iPhone from the Mac. But let's go back to Texas. Let's see what we got here. M44. Should have M44 here in a moment. From Texas. And thank you for joining us tonight. Wow, it's almost, what time is it? My God. 10, 12. We've been online for 2 hours already. I can't believe it. But yeah, this is the what we've got with the telescopes in Texas there. Oh yeah, now we can definitely see some stars. This is the view of the pier cam looking up, kind of underneath the sea star. And just to give you an idea, the moon is only at about 10% right now. But look at the light on the arm of the sea star. That's from the moon. When it is a full moon, at Starfront, the camera is so sensitive, it looks like it's almost like broad daylight. That's how sensitive the Pier Cam is, and all the cameras over there at Starfront. But that's why it's just not a good night to image if you've got a full moon, unfortunately. We love the moon, but it's our friend and our foe at the same time. Uh, we love to look at it when it's a less than 50%. At least I do. But when it's full moon, it's like a floodlight in the night sky. That's what I call it, a floodlight. And it's look at this light. It's already right there. That's causing on the Sea Star. Amazing. So let's see if we can have it go someplace else. How about we go? It's exiting. And let's have it close the arm. I do have a plan set up for tonight after the star party here with the YouTube live. I am going to have it look at a few targets and then go to bed, and then in the morning wake up. Hopefully the images will be waiting for me there. Let's see. Stargazing. Did the okay good. There we go. So I'm wondering if I can go normal, no limit. So I can go here. Okay, so now it's actually recording. Okay. Let's have it. Let's have it go to Spider Nebula. Let me see. Ooh, this one looks interesting here in the northwest. It's about 30 degrees. Okay. Gonna go there. Let's do it. IC 417, the Spider Nebula. So here's the Pier Cam. Let's see, do we have movement? There it goes. It's starting to move. Yeah, it's doing like a time lapse video here, the Pier Cam. I want to get it. I still haven't figured out how to do a real time video of it yet, because you can see it blurs. It only is doing a time lapse, so it's a very blurry movement. I want a smooth movement. When I do the time lapse after it's captured for about captured 3 or 4 hours of it imaging the night sky, it is smooth. But I wish I could get a smooth view in real time, but that's not possible right now. Let's see what we got here. IC 417 is what we're going to be looking at here in Texas with the Sea Star. Okay, so IC 417, we can look it up on Stellarium. We go over here to Stellarium. Oh, there it is. IC 417. IC 417. The Spider Nebula. Okay. Oh, it's a small one. Auriga. It's in the constellation of Auriga. Okay. Pretty big one. That's it right there. So it's got some nebulosity on the top part, and there's some stars. And it looks like there's some darker nebulosity or maybe some dark matter here on the bottom side of it. But there's one very, very big star here. I can't make out the name of it. But this is the Spider Nebula IC 417. Okay. So there it is. It looks like stars now. For it to get the nebulosity, it's going to have to sit there a little bit. And you kind of, I'm going to turn off this light here. Wait, not there. There. Sorry, I'm a little dark right there. But on the screen, the longer I let it sit there, that red nebulosity, like it's showing here in Stellarium, will become visible. This red area here. So as I toggle between that, right now we've got just some of these stars right there. So I'm going to let it sit there for a while. And look at the peer cam. There's a peer cam. It's looking up to the west. But anyways, I know it's late, and we've all got to get up and go to work and get to school and take kids to school. I know I do. So that is tonight's Star Party with Star Pictures Miami. I'm Carlos Garcia, your host, and thank you very much for joining. Look for more Star Parties in the future online. I'm looking to do this on YouTube Live, and with some people and some friends, maybe on a Zoom or a Google Meet, with Southern Cross Astronomical Society. We're talking about doing this with the members and being able to share our images with not only the Sea Star, but anyone who's got a smart telescope in the club, be it a dwarf or one of the bigger scopes, with a ZWO camera on there. Those can be shared as well on screen. So thank you for joining us and for joining me, and look forward to seeing you in a future online Star Party with Star Pictures Miami. Thank you so much.